Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Teabag Party. This is our solo run. Just me, by myself, and you. Hot chocolate, grab a pillow, grab some popcorn. Let's hang out and play some Ocarina of Time. And if you haven't played Ocarina of Time, stop watching and go play Ocarina of Time yourself, because it's better that way. Alright, let's go. So we just got Zelda's letter, and it's going to help us. We're looking at a lot of text. Finally, we're done. We're just done talking, Zelda. Goodbye. Here's a... oh, my goodness. Step on me, mommy. I am Impa of the Sheikahs. I am responsible for protecting oh goodness, for protecting Princess Zelda. Everything is exactly as Princess foretold. You are a courageous boy. You are heading out on a big new adventure, aren't you? My role in the princess's dream was to teach the melody to the one from the forest. This is an ancient melody passed down by the royal family. I have played this song for Princess Zelda, its lullaby, ever since she was a baby. There is mysterious power in these notes. Now listen carefully. Oh yeah, I should note that I have other things to talk about. I'm not just playing this. I have stuff I want to talk about. Thanks for joining me, by the way, for the playthrough. Mwah, love you. Yay! I learned my first song. The person who gave me this thing didn't even teach me a song. Although I was kind of in a hurry to leave. You've learned Princess Zelda's lullaby. If the castle soldiers find you, there will be trouble. Let me lead you out of the castle. I.e. teleport you closer to where you need to go. Thank you, Impa. Saving me a few minutes of walking. Look at them cheeks. Them thick thighs. My goodness. You brave lad. You must protect this beautiful land of Hyrule. I hate the word protect. I feel like there's so much effort required at the beginning of the word. Protect. 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 I don't know. Just a lot of whatever. Take a good look at that mountain. That is Death Mountain, home of the Gorons. They hold the spiritual stone of fire. Fire! At the foot of Death Mountain, you will find my village, Kakariko. That is where I was born and raised. You should talk to some of the villagers there before you go up to Death Mountain. No, I don't think I will. The song I just taught you has some mysterious power. Only royal family members are allowed to learn this song. Remember, it will help to prove your connection with the royal family. The princess is waiting for you to return to the castle with the stones. Alright, we're counting on you. Just let me go, okay? It's not a flaw. This game has a lot of talking. The dialogue is honestly not that bad, and it's also like really important to like the motive as to why everything happens in this game. But there is a lot, especially when you play this game. This is my 102nd time playing through it, so you know, it kind of adds up. I could also just not play it that many times. That would be a good idea. But yeah, lately I had this gripe though with a lot of like the way modern games are not made, but more the mentality that gamers have buying games. Granted, like you can have whatever mentality you want, but because the way video games are now, they're made to kind of constantly make money, even after they're sold, right? Which is fine. Like some games really thrive off of like the live service thing, like Destiny or World of Warcraft. But some games, I mean, I don't know where Helldivers 2 would fall into this. It could have just been launched with all of its content, but it's nice to have like the consumer feedback from the player base for the developers as they add things. So it's, you know, it's a catch-22. There's pros and cons for. That's not how that phrase works. Whatever. There's pros and cons to either way of doing things, and I just think it's Anyway, I just have something I want to say. I see a lot of like game reviewers and even gamers who talk about, oh, this game is too long or something. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's too long. Like, I'm sorry they gave you too much content? Like, what's the problem? And some people usually have issues with like really grindy RPGs. Like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I think a lot of people complained about it being too long. And yeah, some of these games are grind fests where you're just working towards like getting the right gear so that way you can fight certain enemies in certain areas or whatever. Because it's all level based. It's like, oh, you have like a level 5 speeder, but you can't fight a level 10 enemy because you'll probably get rocked. So then you go and you grind somewhere and you get a level 10 speeder, and then you go back and you can poke them to death. And there's nothing wrong with that type of game. Like that's people are into that, they're into it. It's fun. It's whatever. But if the game is fun, like if it's actually fun, I don't think there's such thing as too long, even if it is the kind of like padded out RPG system. Because if the gameplay loop is good and you're enjoying it, and if the story is good, or at least good enough that the gameplay loop is still complimentary and fun, basically if you're having fun at all, if you're still having fun, why would you want the fun to stop? The whole point of spending your money is to get fun for your money. And then people are like, oh, the game's too long. I was like, no, I think partway through, you had the second cost fallacy, which is where you spent money on this game, you've put in, you know, maybe 10 hours, 20 hours, 100 hours, and then it stopped being fun. And I cannot stress this enough, that games are not made to be played every day. Like, you cannot play one game every single day. I would know, actually. I used to compete in Counter-Strike a long time ago. And, I mean, I did love it. It's a great game, especially when you're playing with friends and you have a team that you compete with. You really get to know each other, but the social aspect is what keeps it going. It's not the gameplay. Even though it is easily the best shooter in my opinion. Apart from maybe like Halo, but I would still say Counter-Strike's better. Also, Halo's dropped off. The past few entries have sucked, and the other ones are getting old, so it's whatever. But you get the idea. I don't want this rock. Fuck the rock. Never mind. The rock has money in it. Best soundtrack's coming up right here. Love this song. I don't need that letter anymore. But so I think Ocarina of Time though is a really good actually any game is linear really, but Ocarina of Time especially, it's a great game of don't spoil it for yourself. It's worth playing the first time going in blind. And like that games are meant to end. Like I can't play this game all day every day. That's weird. No offense, Will. I know you play this game a lot in your spare time. Like even, you know, 25 years after, oh my goodness, more like 30 years after its launch. But it's not really made to be played more than once. And so when you do play a game like Destiny or Helldivers or World of Warcraft or whatever, it's designed to constantly be making money out of you in some way, even if it's just a little bit. But it's actually a game that's designed to be played forever. But even so, you cannot make content fast enough to satisfy someone who's playing. Shut up, you stupid owl. You cannot make content fast enough to satisfy someone who's playing even 2 hours a day. If I were to play Helldivers 2 hours a day, I would have everything in the game pretty quick. And I'm at 200 hours right now. And I don't have everything quite yet. I'm pretty close. But I think it's really interesting to watch the human to video game relationship kind of become toxic from the person's perspective. Like, imagine if I demanded, you know, like my wife or my mom or my sister or dad or friend or whatever to like constantly be there for me, giving me whatever it is I need, like always. Like, that's not how life works. And like, obviously a video game is not a real person, so you don't have feelings here to worry about, other than the feelings maybe the developers. But it's very strange that somebody would even want to do the same thing over and over again without wanting to like branch out to learn something new, even if it's just another video game. Even if it's in the same genre. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, like, 1 month, play tons of Call of Duty or whatever. I mean, don't play that because it sucks, but play whatever shooter, and then go and play just a different shooter that's got a different dynamic on how you interact with the world and the players around you. As soon as you do that, it's now fresh, and your brain is doing something different. And then you can mix it up. You can eventually, you know, kind of be at ease putting the game down, going, okay, this is done. This was an era of my life that I loved. I really enjoyed it. But it does have to come to an end, or else it's become stale. Ow. And I mean, that's what happened with a lot of games for me. I used to be really into Call of Duty back when it was good. And I used to be really into Counter-Strike. And I played like thousands of hours of these games. But that was an era of my life that I had to put the game down. I had to stop eventually. And I can't really go back. You know, I don't have the time to put into it. I don't have the same people to play with. It's not the same thing anymore, especially now. Like, Counter-Strike 2 is different than... Actually, it's not much different than Counter-Strike when I played it. But Call of Duty is obviously a whole different thing now. It's such brain rot bullshit. Just faster paced and more cinematic cutscenes and yada yada. Oh, I don't feel like doing the voices. My voice hurts. Should play the Ocarina of the Forest, blah, 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 blah. Let's play a song. Just go. Down, right, left, down, right, left. This is music, this is music. But I look back to on other games, like even Far Cry, where it's like an RPG, it's open world, but it's not level based. At least it wasn't. I think New Dawn is, and I'm not sure about 6. I haven't played 6. But most Far Cry games leading up before New Dawn weren't level based. It was just an RPG where you got new things, and they had pros and cons. Usually pros, depending on how late in the game you can get it. But there was an ending. Like you could 100% the game and like max out all your different equipment and whatever and weapons, and do every side quest and whatever, and then eventually beat the game. That's great. But eventually it ends, and that's satisfying to have finished it. You can kind of close that chapter in your life naturally, rather than just the game getting stale or dying because the player base is gone. And I really pity like this whole generation of gamers who I'm watching grow up, where they don't want to spend money on games. Why am I going in here? I'm missing half a heart. It's not even worth walking over there for. This whole generation of gamers, though, where they just play whatever they can, which is, I mean, I get that. Like, maybe you're poor, but they won't spend any money buying like a game that's not like a, you know, like a cash grabby, rinse and repeat, you know, Fortnite or Call of Duty Warzone or Rocket League or Rainbow Six Siege or whatever. Like, they just play these garbage games. I mean, objectively speaking, they're actually pretty good, but they're not good for you. And they are just made to sap money from you. This owl can shut up. And so I just feel so bad that no one's having the experience of going on, like, losing yourself in a world with characters and these beautiful set pieces that you get to freely explore. It's not being shoved down your throat. Like the new Call of Duties, where they're very linear, where it is, you know, after you kill this many guys and you walk to this point, cutscene happens. Or you walk to this point and, oh, this big explosion happens and it changes the room or the building or whatever, and then now you have a new place to fight in. And then some very, you know, Michael Bay driven sounding story is now the only thing you care about, which is not something really to care about. Like, no one's really cared much about characters in Call of Duty since like Black Ops 2010, you know? All the characters they have now are either rehashed versions of that, or no one's given a shit about their characters because they're not good. Back in the day, Call of Duty was actually kind of worth... Oh, I missed something. Was kind of worth buying, even just for the campaign. Oh my goodness, stop. There we go. But it's not like that anymore. A lot of games aren't like that anymore. Battlefield definitely isn't. Holy cow. Battlefield fucking sucks now. No campaigns, no nothing. Half-assed multiplayer. Games are coming out with hardly any maps to fight on. Like, man, Star Wars Battlefront 2... Man, I can't got me fucking riled up. Star Wars Battlefront 2 had like 30 maps or something like this. It was a lot of fucking maps. Maybe 45 or something. It was a lot. Whole shit tons of maps. Games are coming out now with like 10. Like what? Like Halo Infinite came out with like no maps. It was like 7. It was terrible. I don't know the exact number. Don't quote me on that. It was like 7 to 10 though. It was super low. And I don't understand that. The map design is an easy way to add more depth and more nuances and unique gameplay experiences without the player having to learn anything new, other than the lay of the map, which is kind of expected from every game. So, instead of like, you know, making these games that have, you know, changing mechanics or, you know, like it's a really deep mechanic system like Tarkov, for example. They have some mildly unique, somewhat in-depth movement systems, right? Or Arma, where it's like so much to learn. But then, you know, the map and the gameplay is all really kind of samey. Like the mentality moving forwards throughout the game. And it's just, it's dumb. That's all I'm saying. I can't imagine making maps as the most expensive part of making a video game. They gotta be having more content and reasons to play the game, reasons to get excited about it, and things that actually pull in your heartstrings a little bit, like the way old games used to. And here's the thing, old games, I mean, look at this game. It looks like shit compared to today. It looks awful. And yet, I'm willing to bet you that this game has better story and more compelling reasons to carry on, just narratively, than any game or most games made in the past 5 years. Maybe even the past 10 years. But this is also why, like, Sony's killing it, because God of War is, and some of the other exclusives have stories worth playing. Although I don't understand some of them. Like, no offense to like Spider-Man, like, it doesn't look that good to me. It looks like a lot of fetch quests and chores, and kind of spoon-fed. Everything's spoon-fed to you. But whatever. But then, so it all comes back to like, are games too long? Or our game, is it possible for a game to be too long? I say no. If a game is actually good, if it's actually fun, it's not too long. You're just, it's now a chore for you. You've fallen into the sunken cost fallacy, so you're pushing through all this like terrible gameplay or these grindy mechanics, and you're pushing through just for the sake of you spent money on it and you're this far into the game now, so you might as well finish it. If it's not fun anymore, stop playing. And a way to stop this from happening in the first place is don't play it every day. You don't have to get the new whatever AAA RPG whatever and play it for 3 or 4 hours a day every day. You can play it in smaller doses. I mean, I'll admit that honestly not ideal, but then play it in large chunks 2 or 3 times a week. And then on your other days, you play your more like casual or like rinse and repeat Rocket League and I don't know, Battlefield and shit. Like, I don't know, it's not rocket science. Like, we are human beings who have a tolerance for whatever it is we're doing in our lives. Even if it's good, even if it's a good thing. If you're doing a great thing with your life, like, hey, I'll just use the most blunt analogy. Sex. You can't have sex all day. You can't do it. You kind of can, but like, not really. And you definitely don't want to do it 2 days in a row. You fucking eyeball. But yeah, point is, you have a tolerance for even the best things in life. Except for maybe like genuine love, but I mean that comes in all different shapes and sizes and methods, and that's not really like an activity. It's more of just like a I don't know, like a feeling, but also people say it's not a feeling, it's a choice. But I mean, I guess it's pretty accurate. You know, I hope that anything I've said today makes any sense. I feel very rambly, but it's it is what it is, folks. We're here in the Dodongo's Cavern. Lizards. You're gonna jump at me first. Come on, big boy. Come on. Ow. Ow, okay. Come on. You are dead. Come on, you're next. Let's go. Yeah, you're dead. I don't know how they do that though. So like, they kind of heal. The first guy took exactly 3 jump strikes. The second guy took 3 jump strikes and 1 poke. It is nice to see though, like the amount of games that are kind of indie or AA grade games coming out these days that are taking over like the game awards and stuff. Whether you believe how like that's like political or like just I don't know. If you somehow think it's like you know skewed by whatever social justice bullshit or maybe just like people being biased on what games they want to win and not win. Whatever it is you believe about that stuff. It's nice to see how many games I've played even that are AA or indie games that are way better than AAA games. And I don't say that because I want AAA games to fail. I would really like the big budgets to do something unique and actually do something that's good. But they don't do a whole lot of that anymore. Even Nintendo has said that they are coming out to make games with smaller studios, like a more of a AA size studio, because that way they can kind of have more games come out that are unique. And some of them aren't going to be bangers, right? They're smaller studios, they're newer to making games, they're not necessarily as good. I'm sure they'll be giving plenty of time, because Nintendo doesn't want to hurt its high value name. So I'm sure it's still going to be pretty nutty, but it's nice to see these people actually noticing that putting all your eggs in one basket is not a good idea, especially if you're going to cut corners. But if you do put all your eggs in one basket, a few things. One, make sure you release a finished product. Yeah, fuck you. Sniped that guy. Yeah, make sure you finish the product first. But also make sure that the game is unique in some way, or if it's not unique, make sure it's really freaking good. Because, like, if you something like Helldivers, it's not really a unique principle. The concept of 4 people going in and doing a co-op mission has been around since the dawn of time. Like, go back to freaking 007 GoldenEye. Although it was PvP, I think. I'm not sure if they had bots yet. One of the 007s introduced that. It was fun. Like, me, my brother, and sister, when we were kids, we loved just going into, like, a 007 match. Just the 3 of us versus, like, 6 bots. And doing, like, capture the flag or whatever game mode that we had to play, and it was awesome. The idea of Helldivers is so not new, but yet everything about it is so perfectly executed that it's still fun. So that's basically the 2 ways to do a AAA game. You gotta do something that's either unique, or something that's just really good. I don't really know where I was going with this, other than the fact that I am tired of your Battlefields or your Call of Duties that are the same old thing. Plus they're asking for more money, and they're giving less content. And it's just, who's buying these games? I don't understand. I suck! Oh, I jumped off the edge apparently. Lizards. More lizard friends. Wow, my shield was up. Struck over my shield. Come on. Ba-dum-ba-dum-ba. Come on, my friend. strange. He still took... Weird. Hold on. What? What? Why didn't you jump? That's a bomb wall. Why didn't he jump? Oh, hello. Okay, I guess I'm walking back through here now. Thanks, game. He was still partly on his roll, I guess, which caused him to not jump as far. I've actually never done that before. Okay. I just want to get, like, to the boss or close to the boss, and I'll call it a day on this episode, folks. Give me my bomb bag, oh yeah. That's the American way, giving a bag of bombs to a child. I'm just kidding, they haven't done that yet. Oh man, I have some political stuff I want to rant about. It's not really political, it's more like social nonsense that I just need to talk about. It's stupid. But I'm tired. I'm gonna take a little break after this episode and go pee and get some water. Man, when I was a kid and this first happened, I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. The whole mouth open. When you're a kid, and that big moves in a video game, you're like, whoa! There's a thing hidden in there? No way. Alright, we're not too far from the boss. Oh no, I don't want to burn my shield. We're gonna burn my shield though. Probably in this next round. Ha, screw you. There's a fairy in here. I don't have a bottle though, but I had half a heart in this thing. That fairy dedicated his life to 25 or less than 25% of mine. 12.5%. Quick maths, guys. Thanks for making it this far in the episode. The comedy is just peaking right now. Man, is this easier on the N64 controller than the GameCube? Holy cow, sniping these boys. I desperately don't want to burn my shield. That is one thing I would love to see more of in future Zelda games. So like right now in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they have this like a game engine system where all elements kind of work as you think they would. Like if you add fire to wood, the wood will catch fire, that kind of thing. If it rains or if you put it in water, it will put the fire out. It's really cool. I kind of wouldn't mind seeing more Zelda games in this style, like not this art style, but like this type of like over the shoulder 3D Zelda that is more, I don't want to say linear, but like, you know, you go to a dungeon and you're in the dungeon for a while. You go to this place, then you're doing, oh, hello. Then you're doing that for a while. Like, all these areas are kind of more quarantined off, like semi-open world, rather than like completely open world. I just feel like then Nintendo could go back to the kind of the way it used to be, where everything was more controlled and puzzles were more objective. It was more like a old school brain thumper type of puzzle. But also, like, I also really like the open worlds, so they just have to make more games, I guess. Just make more Zelda. I'll buy it every time. Oh, I don't know why I stood so far away. Go on, roll around. Get out of here. Wide. Oh. I'm forgetting how to play this game. Only hit him once at a time. Jump strikes. There's 3 jump strikes, I believe, to kill him. And then we run to the corner where he can't hit you. And then he comes and rolls around. Yay! He's dead! And his body was enough to cool down the lava in the middle. To make it rock. Yay! Oh man, I am tired. Oh, you just hear that? I just cracked my like elbows somehow. It's pretty close to the mic. You may have heard that. It's fun. It's a me, Darnuria. Well done. Thanks to you, we can once again eat the delicious rocks from our Drongo Cavern until our stomachs burst. Because you couldn't before, like the rock was what was in the way. Just break the rock and eat it, like, whatever. What a wild adventure. It will make an incredible story. I can't believe that the Dodongos suddenly appeared in such great numbers. And that big rock blocking the cave. Ho ho ho, all this trouble must have been caused by that Gerudo thief, Ganondorf. He said, give me that spiritual stone. Only then will I open the cave for you. You, on the other hand, risked your life for us. Smile. Smile, so funny. Kid, I like you. How's about you and I become sworn brothers? No, there's no big ceremony involved. Just take this token as a token of our friendship. Just take this thing. 1 of 3 keys in order to enter the sacred realm. Yes. I don't know, the sacred realm's kind of a really big deal. I feel like it should have been harder to get. These things. I have 1 more to go. I wonder, could I get the Master Sword in this recording session? You obtained the Goron's Ruby. You don't know what he means by sworn brothers. But you collect the 2 spiritual stones. You have 1 more to find. That's right. Oh, I should probably stop the episode here. Wow, I'm tired. Okay, thanks for joining me, everybody. Look at this sign. Look at the wind physics, guys. 1996 wind physics. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hope your hot chocolate was delicious. And, yeah, adios, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.